It's almost time for the final series of the night. Luminosity versus 100 Thieves. Both of these teams undefeated so far in these first 2 days. Now, again, one of them will take their very first loss. Let's talk about Luminosity Gaming first. Now, they 3-1 Enigma 6 on Monday, and they 3-0'd Units yesterday. They're looking much better than they have beforehand. So, Study, how much do you think the new additions in Skies and Brack have helped them to get those wins?
Unbelievable. The performance that both of these guys are putting on yesterday. Like, Skies right here, it says 1.2. Yesterday versus Units, he had a 1.9. Brack was right next to him with a 1.6. And that's throughout the entire series. You're picking up players that are just going to be able to pick up kills when they need to, or when they don't need to. They're able to just do it all on the map, especially in their S&D. It's looking a lot more consistent. We saw Brack yesterday go on a 12 kill spree. That's just something you don't really see. The two new additions to the team are beautiful. It's working out perfectly for this team, but going up against 100 Thieves, the entire team is going to be needing to play well.
But it seems like, I mean, Formal's been playing well as well.
Yeah, he's leading their team in damage across the board, so he's definitely out there putting down shots. It doesn't necessarily translate to KD, but he's out there doing his thing. Like, Formal's been really strong with the new addition of Brack and Skies to their team. I talked to Slack before the matches today. He said he's just making sure that his team's on the same page. He's trying to make sure that the youngins are ready to win a tournament. So neither of these guys have ever placed top 8. So I know that they're fantastic individual players, but they've never actually competed on a high level at the right time. So that's what they're focusing on now, trying to get their team to the place where they can win against other top teams. And this is their first actual real test, and it's against the best team in the game.
Yeah.
Did he call them youngins?
Huh? Yeah.
They're definitely youngins.
Yeah, well,
they're new.
So cute.
They're brand new.
So then, okay, when you're dealing with youngins, say, as Formal is, outside of, you know, what they're going to do, their game plans, etc., the in-game, what mentality, what kind of advice do you try to give them for, you know, their mental, their headspace, you know, things that you can't necessarily physically teach them with a controller?
Well, personally, I just try to, like, tell them to play the game the right way. If we practice how we're going to play in the match and try to execute exactly what we do in practice, you know, more often than not, it's going to work out for you in said match. But, you know, Formal, being the player that he is, he just sits there and does his job, and he hopes you figure it out. So the player that's pretty much going to be trying to, you know, group these guys and mold them into superstars is going to be Slack. He's going to be that guy. But for the most part, Brack understands how to play this game pretty well, and so does Skies. So I don't think there's too much that they need to learn individually. I just think as a team, they need to, you know, to beat teams like 100 Thieves and Optic and stuff on a consistent basis and be a championship contender. They have to work on their teamwork a little bit, obviously, but they're a new team. It's going to take some time.
So then, Study, do you think that they have enough teamwork at this point to take down 100 Thieves in this matchup? Because 100 Thieves, I mean, they blew past FaZe Clan yesterday, and of course they're back-to-back, so.
Well, like you said, they beat E6 and they beat Units. That's not really two of the high-tier teams. So going up against 100 Thieves, who is the best team in the game, you just want to go out there and see what you're capable of doing. Because 100 Thieves is not going to take this game lightly. They know that they're a new roster. LG, okay, they developed a really good roster, but they don't want to be able to give them confidence on this one. They want to be able to go in here and handle business.
True. 100 Thieves, I talked to Slash, he said that they gave Luminosity their best maps in the series.
Yeah.
Because they're getting ready for the biggest tournaments in the game. So if Luminosity is a realistic threat, they're going to give them their best maps now, and then they'll know how to toy with them later on. So they play the long game, right? Like 100 Thieves plays the long game. Like they're thinking, we're set to make it into, to be at playoffs. We have a spot, and we're the team to beat. If this team's going to be a viable threat in the future, let's see what they're best at right now.
I don't know. We're going to know if we can beat them on
and let's
maps.
scare them a little bit. You're playing games at this point.
If you beat those teams on their best map too, now they don't know what to do in the veto process.
Exactly.
Yeah. And also, if you look at Luminosity, a big thing you would say is they have the AR power to go toe-to-toe with 100 Thieves on the bigger maps like Gridlock or on Arsenal. So you look at that and you go, maybe this is the team with the formula to possibly take these guys down. Well, I'm assuming that there's going to be some frequency in here because that's what Luminosity seems really good at as well. So that's a pretty smart play out of 100 Thieves.
Pac, if 100 Thieves is doing kind of sort of these mind games that we've been talking about, if you're on the receiving end of that, like LG maybe, how do you deal with that?
I mean, LG's in a different spot. So 100 Thieves is a proven championship roster. They're not here trying to build any chemistry or anything like that. They're just trying to make sure they stay on form. LG is still trying to build chemistry. This is by far the best team they've played in an actual match. Like this is right here is a test for them. So they're not in the same space. LG still has to prove that they can even be on that level, whereas 100 Thieves is just working towards winning one of the next two, or if not both of the next two tournaments. They have a different way of thinking about things in this as of right now.
Now, we did ask you on Twitter using the hashtag CWLPS4 who you think is going to take this series. From Zaf, 100T, no doubt, LG look like they're getting better and they can compete with tougher teams, but 100T are just in another league, which is essentially what it sounds like you guys have been saying.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to pick against the best team in the game, right? Doesn't matter who.
So like the way Luminosity's been winning is by just like Brack, Skies, and Formal just been putting on clinics on the map. Like they can do it, but will they do that versus 100 Thieves? It's tough for me to say that with
Well, and that's
confidence.
the note from Jay saying 100T 3-2 over LG. Going to be a tough match for 100 Thieves. I mean, why do you think Jace would say going to be a tough matchup?
I don't know. He probably was in the back,
bias.
saw the vetoes, saw that 100 Thieves was going to give them all their favorite maps. So expected him to go to a close series.
Ah, yes, from Poo Boo Boo. There you go. I said it. You're welcome. I'm going to go with 100 Thieves just because I feel like the SOGs for LG aren't strong at the moment.
I actually don't fully agree with that. The way that the LG team has been playing so far, Slack and John are getting extremely baited on the map, and it's working for them. They don't mind it as long as those players are going off. So like pretty much anyone put in those scenarios would be where their stats would be low. That's just the way that this LG team has been playing, and it's been working for them. But it's not like you can expect guys to go off when they're getting baited all the time.
All right, well, it is time to get things started. Our last series of the day, Luminosity and 100 Thieves going at it with Ben and Chance.
Thank you so much, Katie. Thank you to the guys in the desk as well. I'm excited for this one. I'm so excited for this for a whole different amount of reasons. Firstly, best game of the day, by far, not even close. Secondly, we're going to get a couple of answers. Maybe not all the answers, and maybe what we find out today might change come playoffs. But we really do get to see just how good is this new LG squad. It was a team that we've talked about throughout the week. We're excited to see them develop. Now you're going against the back-to-back champs in 100 Thieves, a team who's just so cool, calm, and composed. I think we're going to learn a lot. I really do.
It's going to be an indication. And I will say, like, let's say hypothetically, LG come out 3-0 smoke 100 Thieves.
Bang!
That changes nothing in my mind for the 100 Thieves squad.
I agree.
Because next event, I'm going to be like, 100 Thieves is
100
the
Thieves
favorite,
win.
right? So it's purely about learning about LG right
Yes.
now. It is 100 Thieves. They have opportunities to work on your map pool, to feel your opponent. They can do a lot more. They have, well, it's not that they have a lot to play for. I think they're trying to fight for the first seed as well against United. I think they have to win both of theirs to put themselves in a great spot. It depends on the next week. So 100 Thieves absolutely want the first seed. And there's different pressure on different teams. And for LG, guaranteed play-in bracket, so they just want to get better, go toe-to-toe against the best team. And, well, if you beat them, we know we can do it.
Exactly.
You get the confidence.
I think that's the key, right? For 100 Thieves, they're back-to-back. I think we're all going to have them as favorites for Miami. Of course, that's going to be playoffs. I think you'd be pretty crazy not to, if I'm honest, just because of how well they have been at the past two major events. But it's this game which allows us to learn more about LG. Do they have what it takes to shut down the big boys, the big dogs, the number one? If the answer to that question is yes, well then maybe, just maybe, come playoffs, we might have a lot of faith on them making a miraculous run, or maybe even champs. We'll wait and see. But this is all about learning about LG and just how good is this squad, because there's all that talk. Who won Rustamania? Was it Splice? Was it LG? Was it 100 Thieves? Just by not making any changes whatsoever, we're going to get at least a little bit of information here.
And it would be great to have a new contender. Like, I think the best part about this roster mania is 100 Thieves at every tournament has played every single team that's close to them, and they've just bullied them out. Like Genji, who got second last tournament, 100 Thieves beat them 3 times and, like, barely dropped any maps. So, like, it is as clear-cut as you could really ask for. They're the top dog, and getting some fresh blood. And don't get me wrong, Genji made a roster change. Optic Gaming could come out, contender, United could bounce back, have a better tournament. 100 Thieves is definitely beatable, but gosh darn, is it difficult to beat him. So having some new blood, a new contender, it would just be entertaining.
Whether it's Spice, whether it's LG, we don't care. We want the storylines, people.
Or whether it's like, I'll take anybody. Just throw someone weird in the mix. Just give me someone.
UIU. We'll take that.
Well, give me someone realistic.
Okay. Well, maybe not UIU then. But 100 Thieves LG, here's a look at our map pool. We start with a frequency. Go to Gridlock, back to frequency for game 3. If it goes further, which I think many people expect, an Arsenal Hardpoint, and, well, I'm praying we get a game 5. Search and Destroy, Hacienda. A look at the maps. How's that making you feel?
I mean, LG has loved frequency from day one.
Yes.
And not even with this roster, just the core of Luminosity
even
has
Brack
loved
loves
frequency from day one. Brack himself loves it. So this is a map that, honestly, LG probably has about the most experience with. But I have to imagine at this point.
With that said, game 4, Arsenal Hardpoint. the exact opposite of all that, true for 100 Thieves.
Right, and this is going to be a fun one as well, because like you talk about Arsenal, that's like the AR battle. You get to see Octane versus Skies. Granted, obviously, Octane better. No question about that. But how well will Skies do in that head-to-head matchup? You get Formal versus Slasher. Woo! You get a lot of, or maybe Brack versus Slasher, and then Formal versus
It's just
Kenny.
fun.
Either way, it's a bunch of heavy hitters, Ben.
It sure is. It sure is indeed. And the funny thing about Arsenal is that, as a map pick, was when 100 Thieves were scrimming, I spoke to Slasher, I spoke to Replays about it. They were saying, yeah, we don't know what it is. We were getting absolutely tormented online. When we were practicing, losing that map all the time. Yet every single time they play it online, they seem to get full holds on P3 and they win the map comfortably. And they're like, I don't understand. They just seem way more comfortable playing that game on a LAN environment than they do online. And I asked, does that mess with your VSO processor? They're like, nah, if we keep winning online, we're going to keep playing it.
I'm sorry, I'm confused. You said Replays? Who?
Sorry, Crowder.
Crowder, thank you. Oh, yeah, that guy. Okay, the coach for 100 Thieves, Crowder, I understand now.
Or whatever the other guy does.
I remember that conversation. That blew my mind when they were like, we're terrible on P3.
I was like,
the Jet, and it was like, every time you played it, the other team literally never scores. We have watched them in like at least 3 different maps that I remember where we're acknowledging that before it happens. And they smack them around, and they come back and they're like, "Oh, we're terrible at it." We're like, "Are you sure?"
Though? Like, are you sure? Maybe you should watch some of the VOD,
dude. Because I
know after
some of these pros are crazy.
I know. Fun fact for you: after 100 Thieves won Anaheim, they did a lot of VOD review on a party bus. So shout out to them. Don't ask how I know.
If there was any other passengers on that bus, that must have been the most confusing experience.
Yes, I don't think there were though. I think it was a 100 Thieves celebration. So shout out to them, of course. Back to back, can they get a three-peat? Can they go 3 in a row? So many questions, only time will tell. But here on map 1, it's a good start for 100 Thieves. They control P1. Slasher will have a first fight. John just kind of slid right into it. Slasher will say, thank you very much for the kill. 4 go down, 5 go down. Clean wipe for 100 Thieves. They have the spawns, everything going their way.
Yeah, I'll say. Not exactly the start that LG probably wanted to have, because
not at all.
Very likely going to get quite a bit worse, especially if that player Slasher is able to earn streaks, because 290 off, and that nade's going to help him out quite a bit, 165. And he's got all the teammates here for the bait, slides out. Now he's 40 off, and hey, here's good news. You touch the hill.
Yep.
You get a lightning strike. Now, I don't know anything about 100 Thieves teamwork. Maybe they, oh, no, they knew it. And Kenny, by the way.
Whew. Wow. LG don't have a point.
They don't have a point. Also, Ben, you remember all the analysis work I did for 100 Thieves?
He did a lot, yeah.
Yeah, so we don't have to get into details, but I put a ton of time into figuring out exactly how often 100 Thieves get score streaks. Ben, it is all the damn time.
Yeah, that's probably why they're so damn good. That makes a lot of sense. 100 Thieves started off there so hot as Slasher gets a 3-piece. If he hasn't done enough damage, it's a 9-1 start for him. LG, you're gonna wake up. But before we maybe go to listening with them, I want to hear 100 Thieves communication after getting me listening with 100 Thieves.
You waiting? I'm coming.
Yeah, I got it.
I have shakes.
Okay, I'm waiting.
Just go ring and hold. Go ring and hold.
One's there. One is ring.
Yeah. I'm about to trophy, so I can.
Out of form, wait.
Honestly, I'm probably just gonna ping.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. I'm holding out. I have better. Yes, I'm go.
Close.
It's probably back to those.
Oh, he's close. Lane out.
Between.
That shit's.
Pussy.
Yeah.
Oh, no, not.
I think there's 3 in ring. No bullshit.
Oh, good.
I'm waiting. Yeah, one's inner.
Gotta come.
2 ring.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Pillar.
Oh, yeah.
Guys went to hill.
I have better, guys.
Stun.
I have better.
I just stun my stuff.
Bro.
Let the challenge me window.
They're probably still in there.
Yo, 2 ring. One's lane prone.
Yeah, they're still in
one's lane prone and one's just watching over.
Guys, ring. Watch out, ring.
Just trying to go mid, low key.
Ring Jerry. He's close. Jerry's close to streaks.
There you go.
Not back on
Good shit.
I spawned pipes.
Guys.
There's only one hill, I think.
I got one on hill.
Looking bottom blue.
And ring.
Guys,
Bottom blue.
ring him in.
Done.
Ring dead. I got bottom blue.
Bottom blue right corner. Oh my god. Nice.
2 bottom blue. I got Jerry. One
Nice. Might be elbow.
Back blue, Brack. Lobby hitting hill.
Two in hill. Yeah, I killed one.
Trophy. Nice, one more. On back.
Bottom blue. One shot.
Bottom blue old.
How many?
Might hit mid here.
I spotted.
You already have grass. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
100 Thieves literally laughing.
They're just giggling, man.
They're having fun. That was a terrible rotation. It's worth mentioning. Stunning their teammates. Didn't go well. LG gets some points on the board. The problem, Priester, he has his grab slam and he's ready and waiting. If there's one man who you can bet pretty large amounts of money will secure at least more than 1 kill with his grab, it is him. Is he going to go for it just yet? Doesn't need to because his team's overlooking him. And 100 Thieves are ready and waiting. Boy, oh boy, they're going to put the pressure on. And bear in mind, if this does go wrong, Slasher still have streaks. Double for Priesta. However, maybe a chance here for LG to break.
They're right back in. Slack comes flying in over top, so that's a grab slam down to essentially no avail. And frankly, I think that's a grab slam. He was just doing it just because. Like, those players were never going to be able to come through. He's just like, hey, I got the double kill in front of me. Might as well take it. And then, of course, you talk about LG. Great job breaking into Hill. 100 Thieves, 3 seconds later, they take it right back.
Oh, Brack falls on rotation. Now it's down to Slack. Has to momentarily buy some time. Good start. Sadly, couldn't finish the job. Slasher there with the trade, and he's continued playing very well, but it's Priesta that just flew straight past him. 17 and 8. War Machine is out for Slasher. What's it going to connect with? A couple of hit markers. Still streaks, by the way. Hasn't invested them in the first rotation. Team kill comes through, but if you remember, it was here where he earned them. He might get close again as the shot punch comes through. Formal finds himself a double. Speaking of stats, yeah, quick glance over towards LG. Formal 5 and 11. Brack 6 and 11. Or sorry, 15 and 11 is Formal. I was going to say that would be a little too low, but Brack really struggling so far here after the first rotation of Hills.
I mean, LG just as a whole, it has been a very tough first set of rotations, but there's rotation number 2, Slacked. Well, actually, does that count for tacos? Did they ever specify about the team kill?
I don't think they did.
I don't know. We'll check the fine print. I'll give them the tacos, but it was a team kill, and of course, when you do team kill, that means 100 Thieves eventually is able to get back inside. Admittedly, though, with Slasher with all the streaks, with how bad that first rotation was, Luminosity not in a horrible spot until a couple players fall and they spawn out. Now you got to deal with the Hellstorm. Okay, Ben, they're in a bad spot.
Yeah, not the best spot. In actual fact, Slasher doesn't even want to go for the guy anchoring the spawns. He trusted his teammate to get it, and that's because Priesta was on a full flank. They had 2 players pinning him down, so he decided to go elsewhere. Probably going to save that lightning strike, and he doesn't necessarily even need to use it just yet. John trying to break through. It's just an impossible task, and Formal's forced to somewhat back down. A team kill as well. Brack last man. 100 Thieves are putting on a clinic here in this hardpoint frequency. It could be back-to-back full 60s on P2 as Octane pulls out the Tempest. So a couple of missed shots. Make that 3.
Octane, can he even aim this thing?
That's the question, right? No, is the answer.
Typical.
The lead over 120 points now as Priesta working towards some streaks of his own. He's 22 and 11, double positive. LG, they chalk P2, and this is where it's getting scary that LG could actually get a 100-point club if they're not careful.
On the bright side for them, I think they should be able to eclipse the 100-point margin on this hill. They have a very broad setup for it. Slack's going to deal with the entire team. Best of luck to them.
As long as the 100 Thieves don't stun themselves on rotation.
Well, it did team kill, so at least some sort of mistake that does come in. If not a stun, the team kill's there. And, well, now you got the next Tempest in the lobby. Can he find a single thing? Well, if anything, he feels the pressure. Keep in mind, 230 off streaks. He just needs to find a couple, and right now his teammates are actually clearing house for him.
Tempest usage has not been great so far this game, but Skies is in the hill. He still has half of his Tempest left. He is earning those points. He's 200 away. Zone contested. That's a nade. Scrambles away. Concedes a little bit of hill time. It's a 100-point lead. There's the connection. No streaks earned. No. Would have been massive. As Formal finds the trade on towards Priesta, they'll claim the final 10 seconds, or will they? No, they won't. And Abel wants to challenge one more time. You still have Slasher. Remember that with his lightning strike, as 100 Thieves put himself 50 points away from victory.
Yeah, that was super unfortunate. The Tempest ran out just before he can get the streaks. And if you don't have a lightning strike to help to break the hill, you got to do it with the guns. And so far, maybe so good. Octane somehow still alive, is able to find 2 kills, and obviously the support was there. Give him the 3rd, Ben. Just give him the 3rd.
Just when you're thinking, all right, well, 100 Thieves are going to need to invest the lightning now, right? They're going to get broken, surely. They just don't. Octane finds himself... He's styling.
He had such a bad first Tempest. He's like, let me get a second one real quick. I'll just get 1,700 points like it's nothing. Don't call in the streaks. You don't want to end the game. Earn the second Tempest. Make up for love lost. But that's a joke. 8 spree. Octane. He just turned on. He just starts shredding. It just happens. It's inevitable.
It's just streaks, streaks, streaks. You mentioned, obviously, you did your research in 100 Thieves, how often they get streaks. It's just
all the time.
Every single game, it feels like, as Octane connects with Skies. LG, you're a new team. I'm honestly not sure what many people were expecting in this series. I think a lot of people wanted it to be close. But one thing we have learned is map number 1 was an utter blowout. 100 Thieves will take it. It's just a mere technicality now as LG do break into P1. The slam from Priesta, not the best.
You know, we need to get a little bit farther out. LG going to be holding on for dear life. So far, so good. Got a couple flames pushing out just to make it happen. And Ben, I swear to God,
It's not happening. Don't even, it's not. No. I'm not even going to talk about it. What was map 2?
no, I was going to say if Octane doesn't earn a Tempest and kill the entire lobby to make up for his first.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't think he's going to even need to. Gridlock was game 2, for those of you that were curious. 10 seconds left on the hill. It's contested, and the final kill. Ooh, does go in favor of LG. The spawn's in favor of LG as well. Here's the thing, though. If you're 100 Thieves, you could just, you know, not even push B2 if you really, really, really wanted to.
Don't really have to push P3 either. I think you could wait it out. Actually,
take
hold
the
on.
pipes.
Okay, my math is a little bit off. I think
120?
if they didn't play, actually, no, I think they might be able to get to the third hill. Because what is it, 60, 100?
It's about to be 100 points now. So they would need a 2-second contest, and they would win if they rotated the pipes. That's how big their lead is.
Well, Slack does get another double kill with the grab slam.
No, it's over.
It is clearly not over. I really just want to see Octane at some point use the Tempest, but they're just trying to force it through. He's got the ICR. This is a perfect opportunity for the Tempest. Maybe it doesn't make a difference. 3 seconds, 100 Thieves.
It's fine.
This has been about
everything
this
is
is
fine.
like a
Look at
90-point run right now for LG.
Which is great, but to your point, 100 Thieves need, what, 3 seconds? You just rotate to P3. LG have to go across the map in 5 seconds. You don't even have, you literally now don't even have time to touch the new hill when it pops. Game over. Map 2. Gridlock search.
Fine. 100 Thieves. They were bullies at first, let their foot off the gas, and I will say LG, if they played like that from the start, maybe there was hope, but they effectively got ran over until they had a 90-point run, but solid stuff from the back-to-back champions.
As expected. Strong start from 100 Thieves. Valiant effort, but left too much to be desired. LG down such a big hole, and I mean streaks aren't here, there, and pretty much everywhere. In terms of stats, Priesta 30 and 22 at this point. Octane 27 and 19, Slasher 27 and 24. On the flip side, really nothing to shout about. Formal ended, I believe, with 30. And that was realistically about it. Not the best start to the series for LG, but they definitely started to get a little bit more momentum towards the end.
Yeah, signs of life at the very least, because if they got 100-point club or lost like 150, that would have been very, very rough. So signs of life, bounce back, you win a search and destroy, which is not going to be easy. But hey, there's still hope.
It definitely is. Of course, you saw Slasher and the 100 Thieves boys all smiles before the series, and I imagine they're still smiling now. Jess caught up with Slasher before the game, though. Jess, what do you have to say?
Thanks, Ben. Well, Slasher said that today 100 Thieves are feeling dangerous, and he also said something that we heard Nameless saying on the desk, which is that they are kind of specifically letting the other team have the maps that he knows that they're good on. He says, you know, playing maps that we're not necessarily the best on is kind of the way we strengthen our map pool. That's the way we're going to get ahead of the other teams. That's the way we're going to stay ahead of the other teams. From LG, I caught up with Slacked, and he's glad about the win yesterday versus Units. Of course, he's happy about the 3-0, but he said, you know, yeah, we're happy winning versus the teams that we're expected to win against, but playing 100 Thieves, that's the real test. He also said, we don't want to be a top 6 team. We don't want to be a top 3 team. We want to be the top team. We want to get back to champion status again. So with that, back on over to Ben and Chance.
Thank you, Jess. A lot of work to be done to get LG back on championship status, that's for sure. And an interesting take there from Slasher. Obviously, Name was talked a little bit about it, but letting the other team basically pick their strong map so that you can get some good practice and improve your own map pool. That's what this week is about for them, right? Staying on top, and it's a good start.
And again, yeah, frequency. Very comfortable map for LG. One of their favorites. Apparently 100 Thieves is a
pretty
solid
good
respawn team.
Yeah.
And that is,
who knew?
Perhaps one of the scariest things that could happen is you take a team that historically wins a tournament with just bad S&D, which granted they were like 3 and 5 all the way back in London, which isn't terrible, but still something that I think had never happened, or it's been years, according to the JP tweet, since a team had a record like that in Search and won an event. Then they come to the next event and have one of the best Search and Destroy performances they get. I think their entire team in the top 15 KDs for Search and Destroy, which that is a horrifying sight.
We've all talked about it. The analysts have talked about it. The casters have talked about it. 100 Thieves winning Search and Destroy is petrifying, because then you look at them and you say, well, what's the weakness? Where is the weakness? What was admittedly not a massive one because the record wasn't awful, but it was a weakness, has seemingly disappeared.
Got to chop off Enable's other thumb. Well, yeah, like what?
He'd probably still
like,
be in.
and even then, like they're just a scary team. But that being said, Gridlock, LG, they're gonna have to have something cooked up, right? Because that's the one saving grace of the. If you want to try to be positive, that you could say is you have all of the gameplay in the world to look over what 100 Thieves has in the back pocket. And for LG, not so much.
That was just funny. That's one of the funniest things I think you've ever said.
Thank you.
That was great.
I hope not, but
I don't think Enable would be down there to lose his other thumb. Well, actually, having said that, he's good with just one. He'd probably be good with 0. Anyway, game 2.
I have faith.
I would too. He's
got to be one of the best like FPS. Well, he's one of the best console players of all time. He has to be.
I mean, yeah.
Like in
That's not even a debate.
I don't know exactly where he is on that list, but
Almost up there. Ogre Twins up there. Enable has to be up there.
You remember the team? I think this was FaZe back in the day, back in AW, where he played with, what was it, Parasite, Aches, and Slasher at the same time, wasn't it? Well, all 3 of those players are still alive. They didn't kill each other. Enable has to be the best teammate of all time. He has to be.
That's a good point. I mean, that's the one thing that, a lot of players always say for the Halo guys coming in. Their communication is great, and their mentality is fantastic, too. And that's what Enable brings. And his respawn recently has been fantastic as well. But round number 1, bomb already down. 30 seconds in the round to go. Post-plant looks good so far for 100 Thieves. 1 player flanking, but you've got to be quick here if you're Brack. Got to put your Nikes on, get across the map. I don't think Skies is going to stretch it from there. Brack finally hits the flank, but at this point, it's too late. His teammates have died. There's not enough time, and 100 Thieves take round 1.
So, Ben, you were in a situation early in league play where you had an ICR watching over the bomb, and you played it a little bit differently than Octane
First
did.
of all,
Octane played it textbook.
First of all,
Study can do a TCL breakdown of the play. We can do a cross-analysis comparison.
Yep.
100 Thieves, perfect setup. Yes, Brack goes on the flank, but it takes him so long.
See, the difference there for Octane was he didn't have idiot teammates who died and left him in a horrible situation.
He also didn't shoot his teammates in the back.
Well, that's because his teammates didn't run in front of him, Chance. It makes a big difference.
Good round for 100 Thieves. They get the bomb down, win the round. Octane, though, does with shot number 1.
He was terrible with the tempers.
It's shot number 2.
I thought that was going to be a collat for a second. I'm sure he did as well. First blood. Looking for number 2. Problem is, for LG, you've not really got all that much control, but Skies opens up with a double. Kenny and the team kill. See, that was more like my teammates earlier on, the team killing coming through. Now I can relate to this.
All what I heard is your teammates play like Kenny. I'm super happy with that.
Touche. 2v3. Kenny shuts down Formal. Slack, Skies, and Brack still up. Brack finds Octane, and this round now pretty much done and dusted unless Kenny somehow...
He got 1.
Right.
He did, in fact, get 1. An unfortunate round for 100 Thieves. Obviously, you saw the play of Skies is able to pick up 2, and that means 100 Thieves, you absolutely need to kill them. Slasher, I think it was, that got team killed, felt obligated to make a play. He was basically saying, I'm going to throw away my life just to get this kill, and you expect the trade to come in just to open things up for the teammate. Unbeknownst to Slasher, Kenny had the exact same idea, except with a nade that would have kept him nice and safe. So communication maybe just slightly off there for 100 Thieves.
Either way, LG do tie things up. 1 round apiece now. As 100 Thieves will go back on the attack. We see maybe a Showers push or back to normal. No, it looks like for them it's going to be B, as Formal had just a moment there to try and snap onto Slasher. Misses a little bit, and then when he looks over towards B, he's going to have a big surprise. Enable first blood. Formal drops.
Don't miss, don't lose. Enable just shreds them in that gunfight. Now you get the bomb down. You can have the perfect setup if you want.
Deja vu?
Deja vu. And we'll see exactly how the ICR plays it. You just sit here, shoulder peek the bomb nonstop. You get a player in front of you on Sushi who's there to basically protect Octane. If you ever get near the bomb, well, you got stuns to help you out. You got coverage. And I see no reason why 100 Thieves will lose this round, unless Brack actually makes the miracle play.
Priest is next in line. He finds the kill, and now it's all about knowing where the rest of the players are. Great nade. Octane goes down, and hold on a second. This round just got interesting. 2v2. Enable not going to have time to heal. The trades have to come through. Now Priesta, can he just play time? Yes, he can. Round over. Got dicey, but it doesn't matter because 100 Thieves will still win the round anyway.
And even with that, even with a nice flank and a perfect nade to take a player down, doesn't make a single bit of difference. And I tell you, one team is happy.
I think this might be some of the best vibes. And I know we use that word, you know, maybe a little too often. But in terms of
the community, certainly.
Yeah, right.
Certainly does.
In terms of the attitude of the players from 100 Thieves, I cannot remember the last time I've seen a team genuinely look this happy, having this much fun.
Yeah, you're back-to-back champions. What is there not to be happy about? You are the clear-cut favorite.
But even when Rise did it last year, it was never like this.
No comment.
They just seem like they're having a good time. It is the point here. And when you're happy, hey, you're probably going to play just a little bit better.
I wasn't entirely joking when I said Enable might be like one of the best teammates of all time.
I would fully agree.
That is a dead serious comment.
Definitely brings a lot to the table that goes outside of the scoreboard. But in this one, LG First Blood, that is just disappeared in a blink of an eye. Slasher gets himself a double. He drops now. Priesta for Streaks gets it. That's the lightning. Can he find the Hellstorm? That's a confident challenge, but it's a 1v1. Slacked scrambles to his right. Teammates call it out. Priesta looks for the fight, wins the fight. There's the Hellstorm. There's the clutch. 3-1, 100 Thieves.
And he will very likely earn his Grab Slam this game. Not a fun thing to have to play around because, in all honesty, how do you play around it? You just have to avoid him at all costs. And in Search and Destroy, there's a ton of situations where you just have to be places.
The problem is he just has to go showers.
Right, so, he could basically get it for free. And I mean, granted, LG, there's things you can do to mitigate it. You could try to bait it out. You figure out where he's on the map. And, like, you could play around it. But I think at worst, Priest is going to find at least one kill with Grab Slam. If he gets it. I mean, he hasn't earned it yet.
He's going to get it.
But he's like 75%
he's
of the way there.
He's going to get it.
It's on like a 6 spree. Got the light
streaks. Which, yeah, it's gridlock.
But when you kill him with streaks, you get less points.
That's a
so maybe
for LG fans, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, 7-2 is current stat line. Impressive stuff. Is now 100 Thieves. I think they're playing the bait game. They have one player, number 4, Slasher. Now, if Slasher makes some noise here at A, it's going to cause all the LG players to rotate. But rather than pushing B Street, 100 Thieves, they actually rotated back inside A. So we're going to have, with 60 seconds on the clock, a 5v5 fight. There's the first 2 kills for LG. Octane responds, but he's stunned, needs some support. Challenge out or showers. Octane finds 2. Now Priesta comes to the rescue. Bear in mind, the streaks are still available here if Priesta wants to try and make a play.
Yeah, probably not the best spot, though. You got players around tree, but they should have enough time to scurry away. So, yes, you have these 3 players, I don't want to say trapped in the A site. They know they're there, but they have the man advantage, and clearly they know bomb is down, so LG not making any mistakes yet.
Time ticking. Almost been retrieved. Priesta now knows there's a couple of players out of showers, but he won't find one. And Octane will surely fall. Team kill. Got interesting, but he does fall. Formal shuts him down. LG win the round, and right when LG watch that back, they're going to be, or sorry, when 100 Thieves watch that back, they'll probably chuckle to themselves knowing just how wide open the B site was, and considering they played it slow, they just pushed down street, a free plant, and with how well they've played that post plant B setup, probably a free round as well.
Yeah, I think 100 Thieves was expecting more of a reaction. You know, 2 times you get the bomb down at B for free, go for the setup. You know Brack has been trying to flank. He's done it twice. So I think that setup is saying, 1, we think someone will overcommit over towards the B site because we've had so much success. Yep. Or Brack is at some point going to flank us and we'll just kill him. And then the only issue they've really had once they get the bomb down has been Brack. And well, if you take care of him, you're fine, of course. That's all in the past. Now we got the sniper battle. Formal comes out on top this time. No wall bang, but the first blood is good enough for LG to rotate over towards A.
Now, what the hell do you want to do with the bomb, though? Kenny leaves A, but he's hesitant. Now, Priesta has streaks.
I was going to say, do you want to call it in a 4v5? Do you even want to ping the lightning? How much are you willing to invest for the win?
Formal hits these. Oh, Enable just gets out with his life, and Priesta, you got to be careful. That is the player with the streaks. He manages to get through the door as well. A triple nade from Skies.
Alrighty then. 1v5 for Enable.
This is never going to happen.
Absolutely not. And I think Enable knows he's going off the map. I was waiting for Formal to take a shot, and he was so patient. But you know exactly what he's doing. He's just calling out all those players on the cross.
Yep.
If Formal is posted up in showers, obviously his teammates got him covered. Not a lot of wiggle room for those players to be in. Well, Skies will get the play of the game for one of the very few triple kills we've really ever had in Search by way of frag grenade. That's perfect.
Perfectly placed. Absolutely perfect. Perfection from Skies.
I mean, we've been saying for weeks now.
So good.
He's got incredible frag grenades. That's
a prime example. And admittedly, you bring up such a good point there that information from the Formal gathered sets that play up.
That's just so peculiar. Slasher, he's literally, that's annoying when you're a sniper and the guy doesn't go on the head glitch and it's seemingly such a bad play to expose your entire body, but like it is a more difficult shot to hit. You're expecting the guy on the head glitch, now you gotta aim higher. It's a little shoulder peek, but that's just, for Formal's gotta be annoyed by that.
Flat out disrespectful. That's what it is, just peeking saying, I know you're not gonna hit me. However, LG hitting the site to try and retake 4v3. Big kill on the flank if Brack is able to get it, but the cavalry is there. Enable finds the pick. Now what more can be found? It's a 2v3. The streak comes through. Priester invests it. He's not on the bomb. Priester finds Skies now. Actually, the diffuser's coming through. He may have to invest the Hellstorm. He's going for it. Formal should be dead just in time. Enable shuts down Slack as well, round one.
LG, I think, won't be upset about that round, though. You force out the Lightning, you force out the Hellstorm. That is job done. Also, things did get a little bit dicey because I don't think Priesthood was actually fully covered when he ran bottom highway. So I think he probably would have been able to at least call in the Hellstorm in the nick of time, but things got close. But either way, 100 Thieves, you invest the score streaks, you win the round. Still in a solid spot. I believe up 42,
4-3.
Okay.
Yep. 4-3, you use the streaks, and well, we talked a little bit about Priester and his grab slam progression. If it does go to around 11, you'd bet heavily he gets it. Just a few more kills would do. Defuse or plants as well, help massively. And in this round, LG have just split the map. Playing for information and a first blood would be ideal. The problem, as you can see the reaction from 100 Thieves. They back away. LG, site set now on the A site.
And Slasher hasn't gotten information yet. Should see a couple players cross over to showers. He knows the jig is up, and yeah, he sees enough players pushing forward. He's going to back up and wait for all of his teammates. They're just going to go for the pure 5v5 retake. They have had nade issues here before. Almost got the cluster. How many can he get? Not even one with the gun. Kenny does get traded out.
So 4v4, bomb planted. Thieves, no one on the flank. It's just going to be a retake straight from the front. Trades coming through. 3 versus 2 as Enable cherry pick Slack. Slasher finds John 3 versus 1. Brack's made plays all year. Is this going to be another one? No, it won't. Octane finds the kill, and 100 Thieves now go up 2-round cushion 5-3. You would have loved, of course, Priest to still be alive to get the defuse and put himself close to the grab slam, but Octane will take it. And 100 Thieves, in terms of big picture, 2-round cushion. Feeling good. That's
just a difference between a frag and a cluster as well. Like Formal spent like so focused on getting the cluster off, but it's obviously so much more delayed before the thing pops off and kills you, so he just loses the first gunfight. You get first blooded, and yes, Skies is there for the trade, but then it just, the opening kill is so huge. Like if Kenny falls right there and Formal's alive, the tides just completely turn, right? Or at least more than likely. Assuming 100 Thieves, someone doesn't make a big play, so another round where just the little things for 100 Thieves going well.
Now for 100 Thieves, is it back to what was so successful in the first few rounds? It seems that way, or does it? 3-2 split. Octane and Slasher are both there. Now how is LG going to react? This is what I expected to see a few rounds prior. They bait out pressure at A. Meanwhile, B's wide open. The perfect play.
And that's got to be one of the best fakes we've ever seen, too. I think, like, the trophy sells it just a little bit more.
It really
it's like, oh, we're investing a lot to come to this site, and nope. You turn around, you get the bomb down for free, and now Brack has tried to flank so many times. So that's why Slasher is playing from a new spot. Although, frankly, John might actually get the perfect timing, so this is the best chance LG's had at a retake.
She's stretching. Brack is on bomb. Do they realize? I don't think they do. It was a perfect setup, but Brack's defused, and LG win the round. For 100 Thieves, everything went well outside of maybe the plant positioning.
Yeah, the plant, well, that's what I was confused about. You should never plant for where the guy can get stretched from. So that's probably issue number one. But I will say, as soon as John gets that kill on the flank, that does bait enough players that probably have ARs to rotate back to watch the flank, so you have less pressure on the front. And so you saw a couple kills coming in from ICRs. Kenny picked up one. I think Octane might have been there for a second. So they were certainly shooting at players on LG. But Brack being on bomb meant LG could obviously throw away their lives.
Well, despite the great bait, doesn't really equate to much for 100 Thieves other than the LG round win. Now, LG on the attack. It's going to be tough. Enable is 110 away from streaks. His surge performance in the past has been meme-worthy. However, in this game, and to be fair, in recent times, he's definitely improved a lot. If he finds a first blood, and EKIA, he'd be in great position. He's trying to tag anything he can up. Bomb planted. Now it's the 5v5 retake. Is that his chance? Slips away.
Obviously, screw the streaks. You just want the round win, right? Well, he's able to get at least the first. Can he get the second? You got the lightning, and maybe you can call it in, but obviously you see the bomb positioning. You can't stretch this one.
Definitely can't, but it's a 2v3. If he was going to think about it, the chance may have just disappeared. You know, Formal's positioning. Formal will fall, as does Enable. So it's a 1v2 with 18 seconds left. Slack's flanked. Octane wins the first fight, and all Slack has to do here is run away unless Octane gets the best read of his life, which unfortunately he doesn't, which means we are going to a round 11.
Yeah, it didn't really help too much either that Octane doesn't have dead silence on his class either, which is perfectly acceptable, because that means you can stack it with everything, and if you're an ICR, you're playing far away, so the dead silence did not make a single bit of difference, but makes that final kill just even easier for Slack. But just another solid round coming out. The saving grace for 100 Thieves is, yes, you have the lightning in the back pocket. But of course, round 11, Ben.
Round 11. Did Priest get his graphs on?
No, I don't think he did, which is kind of annoying, because he was like 4 rounds deep.
That's really
And he was like 75, 80% of the way through, and then the next 6 rounds go by.
Here's the crazy part. Skies for LG. He's close to his Tempest. 12 and 12 and 7. His performance. And honestly, if you're Priest, you call this out to Enable one mid-map. And if the stun came through, the lightning needs to just be a little bit earlier. LG baited out. They get rid of it. And there's still 60 seconds on the clock. We're going to pick a site, dedicate the push to it. It's going to be A. Thieves, they should be ready and waiting.
Well, 100 Thieves is giving up the bomb planet A once again. They have already had one perfect 5v5 retake. They're taking a crack at number 2.
Nades, though. Think about that this time. It could be a completely different story. And, well, there is the nade being cooked by Slack. He's going to peek out. That should find one. No, just the hit marker. Flak is on. 2v3, 1v3. LG should do it. Tech 5 was earned. Brack shuts down Octane. On 100 Thieves, it started off so well in game 2, but it crumbles before their eyes. LG tied the series 1-1.
They needed 3 in a row, and they got exactly that. Big plays from a couple different players all the way around, and Flakjack didn't make it a difference. Round 11 for your scuff play of the game. And again, you talk about the retake. The flak jacket was nice to have, and then it's just the gunfights. LG was like, hey, this time we'll do it. We'll get the first blood, which we've kind of mixed up a little bit the first time around, and we'll be fine. Actually, they don't get the first blood. They got 4v5.
Instant trade, honestly, it was a 3v4. But the kills from Brack were enough. He instantly gets the Tech 5. It's used, and he finds the last as well. So a great round from him. LG show life in the series, tied up 1-1. The hardpoint wasn't close at all, though. That's probably the concerning thing there for LG, knowing you got a couple more respawns to go. Round 11, though, LG clutch up. This series really could be a fascinating one where we learn so much. We'll be back after this with Game 3, series tied 1-1. It's the last game of the night, and it's setting up to be a good one. 100 Thieves, LG tied 1-1 after a round 11 clutch up from LG despite being a man down. Now we head over to Control, though. Another respawn. Here's a look at where we head. Frequency and an Arsenal, which we will get to see. A potential for the Hacienda Search and Destroy. And obviously, during map number 1, Chance, we talked a little bit about, 100 Thieves, how often they get streaks. But talk to me about the actual numbers of how often that actually is.
So I looked at this for Anaheim. I took all of London and then the 2 weeks of Pro League before Anaheim. They played 37 total respawn maps.
Okay.
They earned streaks on 32 of them. So 32 out of 37, 90% of the time. Almost every single map, someone on this team is going to get score streaks.
Is there a specific player that gets streaks more?
It's Octane, like half the time. It's literally everyone across the board. For the 32 maps earned, Octane was on 16 of them.
Oh, so literally half.
Literally half. Literally half of the streaks Octane will get. I think actually total streaks, he earned 37. The rest of his team combined earned 35 total.
Total.
Over that span. So Octane is a score streak machine, but so is his entire team. I would be willing to bet, and unfortunately, unless we do this manually, we'll never get to know for sure. But like Priesta on those 30, or out of the 37 total maps, he got streaks like 11 times. Slasher was like 10, Kenny and Enable were both like 6. I'd be willing to bet all those players are well in like the top like 10, 20% of the league.
Right.
But Octane is king score streak.
He's a link.
We saw the first respawn. Slasher did a great job, earned some streaks. Frankly, he might be able to do it again. He's only 200 off. But Octane, even though he's 1-1, at some point might just earn score streaks. Like, it just happened. And he's 1-1 and 250 off. This is what 100 Thieves does. They are score streak machines, although they do get shut down there.
Either way, they have 2 minutes to get 2 ticks into B. Slasher's War Machine progression at this point is scary if you're an LG fan.
We talked about that when Splice was playing.
Remember that?
Like, how often does it happen in one round? Pretty much never, but occasionally. Slasher might just be that guy, Mr. Inevitability.
Well, for LG, the life count is only down 1. A minute and a half. Here's how the map is setting up. You can see 100 Thieves going for what might just be a 2-2-1 split. 1 player pushing from the spawn, 2 players pushing from LG side, 2 players mid. That's how it's setting up, and that's how it's developed. It's going to be Octane to try and break from his own spawn side. However, Formal's ready and waiting. This was a ironically similar position to the Search and Destroy. Slacked expects the second. He was right to do so, but the trade will be there from Skies. Now, the 2 players from mid, they have to spring into life. One of them is going to split to go to the spawn. Slasher backs away. Time is ticking. 60 seconds now for 100 Thieves to break through. Priesta with the opening.
I will say Slacked has been playing this pretty safe and pretty smart in the back because he knows 100 Thieves are looking for the spawn kills, but now instead of the spawn kills, they get him from the other side, and now you spend so much time in your spawn, now you gotta run back, and 100 Thieves, all bodies in the hill. It has gotta be a mad dash. There's a player mid-map for LG that you gotta make a move, you gotta slide inside, and it's gonna be Formal. He can find 2. Kenny gets dropped. LG, in the nick of time, get the retake. And again, it does start off with Slack playing pretty smart.
1 life advantage. 50 seconds. Essentially, a round of Search and Destroy. You just need 1 tick into B, and LG are not going to give it up lightly. 100 Thieves going to try and take from their own side. It looks like that's going to be the play. You're expecting essentially now a 5 versus 2 on this side of the map. Brett gives up at least a little bit of information. His teammates are going to be there. You need to find the pick, and Enable runs into a wall, it seems. Now there's your opening. LG on the other side will know. 4v4, 20 seconds, shots going down, no one falls. Octane so nearly shut down his teammate. The trade's coming through, 3 versus 2. Kenny in the hill, what else can he find? Does he have enough time to heal with 32 health? He needed to, didn't. 2v2. Sky shuts down Slasher, now it's on Octane. He finds the first. Octane 1v1, him versus Brack. Time ticking and Octane loses the fight. He found the Sorg, but Brack stays composed.
It's probably such a foreign position for Octane when he's sliding out with the Sorg. Yeah, it's a little bit different, but that is a massive one-on-one. And it had to be Brack, right, at the end, because all the things we need to learn about this LG squad, it does include whether or not Brack and Skies can still perform when they play with another team that maybe has been in better positions in the year than their previous squads have been at. They have to always be able to perform. and it's a nice little 1v1 there.
And you feel kind of, I don't necessarily want to say bad for Brack, but you know, everything he's going to do, he's going to be scrutinized, saying, well, would Gunless have won that? That's always going to be the comparison.
Well, the answer's probably yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever that question is, yeah, probably.
For the most part, you're right, but that scrutiny is always going to be there as, well, 100 Thieves start off this round with a very good defensive hold. However, it looks for a moment as if they were going to try and fly through. LG have already broken through over towards B, though. Kenny's going to get all the information in the world now. 1 player, 2 players crossed. 2 more held back. Slasher did earn his War Machine after, I think it was just 1 kill this round, so he was pretty close to getting it just in the first round.
13-5, having himself a solid game, but obviously down a round. This is going to be more than likely at least 1 tick through. Kenny is up top, but he's just spotting out information, tries to hunt down Slack, has a nice little double challenge, waiting for the teammates. That is a very red kill feed on the left side. 100 Thieves, they get the wipe, and only 1 tick passed.
And Slasher's now 450 away from streaks. If he can maybe get information quick enough, the War Machine could be used to try and secure them. Not going to be the case. Octane now left in a horrible situation to try and trade. He at least found 1. In flies Kenny. He gets 2. Beautiful retake, and now with a 5 life advantage of your 100 Thieves, you're trying to figure out, all right, how do we play the map? Where is LG going to push? Looks as if it's going to be another B push. And Octane has a Tempest as well if he wants to try and use it to hold.
It's actually kind of insane. You get the 2 first specialists of the game, and they're going to use at least 1 of them, despite the fact that you lost the first round, because no one on LG really anywhere near there's of his own. I mean, it helps when you're on offense when you get the capture points and they have body stacks over towards the site, but
still.
Yeah, still.
Lose a round, and you have 2 specialists halfway through round 2. A is being capped up, though. There's a trophy in the hill. Formal grabs the sub off the ground. Octane finds the first pick. Unfortunately, Formal drops as well. This is 16 versus 9. Some more trades coming through. Slack trying to make the 1 last attempt, 1 last hero play. Needs to get the kill. Unfortunately, the last stray bullet is a team kill. Reinforcements coming, though. 100 Thieves with a 6 life advantage or 5 life advantage. You can honestly go for 1 last push if you really wanted to and try and trade out. There's 2. Another good push from 100 Thieves.
I mean, that is genuinely just like practice for them. It's just saying, like, we can win it by kills, we want to play safe. Now let's try to retake real quick. Let's just see if we can do it. What's the plan here? You get the first entry guy, Priestess side in, you go for the swarm, and successful at that. Very nice bounce back round for 100 Thieves. Although it does take a War Machine. Silver lining.
That's true.
Silver lining for LG. It's very, very small silver lining.
Problem is, you still have Octane with the Tempest, and has anyone from LG earned their specialist yet?
I think genuinely all 5 of them are getting very close, but none of them have it yet.
Yeah.
Formal maybe 2 kills away. Skies maybe about 4. Slack maybe not as much so a little bit of work to do.
Definitely that. Kenny, of course, invests his TAC 5 boost. So extra health here as 100 Thieves assault B zone. Slasher mate fancy his chances at a split push. Kenny's there to trade, gets it. Now you have to think when you're LG off spawn. Where do you want to go? Well, A's going to be contested. Kenny gets him down to 1 shot. Backs away. Not ideal weaponry, but Slasher's there to help. The split push is still coming through. Bear in mind, 100 Thieves are capping B at this point. B is gone. LG have to chalk that one up. 2 minutes 14 to defend A, and you're down 4 lives.
And they're able to cap a point, playing split on the map on offense. Wow. Yeah, they stayed up on lives. Like that's the crazier part of they don't really have to sacrifice too much to put themselves in a great spot. You got everyone going for spawn kills. Octane not quite successful on the turnaround.
Enable is literally in the spawn.
And a player just spawned in blue. Skies must be so confused, and now the players start to spawn in the back. But yep, Enable's back there, or he was all the way, and now you got at least 1 tick on A. And LG is so far away from even being able to contest.
Number 6, Formal hitting the flank, and then Enable's even going to find that. That is tough. That is very, very tough.
If you watch these last 2 rounds, you would not believe that LG won the first one.
No. And it did go down, of course, to that 1v1. Brack with the ice. Clutches up. Otherwise, this would have been over. I think the scary part here is it's like 100 Thieves just kind of flexing.
It's just like,
you know what I mean?
That was an insane kill cam. That's another day in the office for Slasher.
Right.
That's all it is. Just
business as usual.
Oh, good lord. And watch this be one of the very few respawns where no one earns a score.
Well, Slasher's 200 away, Priest is 225 away. Octane, well, 525. Letting the team
for him, that's not that far.
That's a scary thing. Well, Slasher no streaks. Priest, your turn.
Dude, this is going to be the one game. You bring it up, put in all that hard work, and it's just not going to happen.
Well, that's just unfortunate, I guess.
You hate to see it.
You really do.
Well, actually, if you're LG, you love to see it, because they're trying to win the series. So, you know, two sides of every coin.
And they already can't be, so massive life advantage. All right, now it's your turn, LG. Show us the spawn trap 100 Thieves just locked you in. Admittedly, it wasn't an easy one, but we'll see if they're able to do it. For now, answer definitely no. No control just yet, but still the life advantage, and that's huge. And April has vision. And the fact he actually found skies there is very impressive. At least trades out his own life.
Comes the Tempest making up for map 1, and now you're getting spawn killed. You got to deal with the Tempest. That is a shoulder peek that does not last for very long. Sky's going to be definitely going through the wall, and I will say, you got a little bit of time on the clock, but if you spend too much time spawn trapped, it's going to make your back half of the round very difficult.
A fun way to spend 30 seconds of a map pinned into your own spawn with nowhere to go. Octane is not going to win that fight. Priesta has a slam though, and well, one player jumps to the window, doesn't need to investigate now. Second player slides, he somehow wins the fight with an ICR. LG, it started off so well. Trade's still there. They still have a 1 life advantage, but time is running out. Just over 60 seconds now to try and get inside A. At least stop the clock, if nothing else.
And you got to invest something. If it's going to be the grab, you use that. You see Slasher actually pulled out his War Machine, his second of the game, by the way, but Slack shuts it down instantly. And you're going to pull out the Tempest as well. You got to go for the commitment. Make sure you win this round.
It's a second tick. Priesta has his slam. Does he want to look for it? Well, he went outer and unfortunately falls, but it opens up the zone for everybody else. Now the War Machine is out for Formal. He finds 1, he finds 2, 3. Now it could come down to Priester in the grab slam, but you're down so many lives. You even want to invest it. Maybe consider saving it for the next final round, which he will be forced to do as he drops LG, take us the distance, round 5.
And it is unfortunate that LG also had to use the War Machine. But they are able to get the round, and they are still going to have the Vision Pulse for the final round. Brack was able to secure that.
But on the other side, you have a Vision and a Grab Slam.
Silver linings, man. I'm all about those.
You are.
You forced the round 5. I mean, it was a...
You win the round. Winning the round is the most important thing. Yeah, you had to invest in it.
And keep in mind, it was a dire situation for the S&D, for LG. It was like 100 Thieves making things look easy, and then maybe a round where like there's a bad bomb plant position.
Yeah.
It was like one little thing, and then LG, they were in a very tough spot, and they came back and won 3 in a row. Being down 2-1, you get completely bullied out 2 rounds in a row. And now you got the Vision Pulse. He's going to earn streaks off of this. That's a nice bounce back.
It's a huge bounce back. However, Priester is inside A. It's a bait, though, and I think he recognized it, didn't pull the trigger. Brack earns his streaks. Now the defensive stance can continue. Now, although he does get his streaks, Enable didn't counter Vision. Bear that in mind, and Priester still has to grab something. He's actually going to try and go for some spawn kills with a Hellstone. What does he spot? Well, there's one. His teammate's going to win that gunfight. Can you get it inside the spawn? You can, but nobody home. And at this point as well, 100 Thieves are only down 3 lives. Oh, you just baited it out. One player from LG actually stayed alive mid-map, so Grab Slam gone. The only thing left in this map specialist-wise now is Enable and his Vision Pulse. Kenny might earn another Tech 5. That is pretty much it.
You got to keep in mind, Brack sitting on that Lightning. It's just a nice little safety assurance over towards B, but maybe take one more crack over towards A. Slack actually able to slide in. He is able to take one player down with him, so not a horrible spot.
The saving grace for LG now, because you're all about your silver linings, is you have a Lightning Strike and the one remaining zone is outside.
Absolutely. So at some point, Enable, he's going to have to make the call. Maybe you want to wait for after the Lightning Strike to get called in to use it. So you try to pour as much pressure into the point as possible. You can see LG, they got a nice little spread. We've seen this exact spot before. This was the type of round that came down to a 1v1 at the very end.
Sure was. Opening comes through. And Thieves winning a couple of gunfights, and now you may force the Lightning Strike out. You do. How many players is it going to connect with? Well, there's one, but realistically, if you're 100 Thieves, you're happy with that.
Yeah, now that that's out of the way, well, you might even wait for Kenny to earn the TAC 5, or you can call in the Vision straight away. It is it. The Vision's out here now. You got players in you. Kenny's going to know where he is. You got to get the clean break here.
2 players drop, but it's trades at least, and Kenny's in some trouble. He does get the TAC 5. Could honestly just use it now. May as well, because you're in the zone. You've got a 1 life advantage. There's the TAC 5 boost. Extra health now for 100 Thieves. And the tick is coming through. There's the first. A grapple was desperation, if nothing else from Slack. The trades are there. 100 Thieves, they have the life advantage. Is there even time for LG to touch the zone? One last effort. Skies with 1. Brack and Slack both pick up kills. LG, have they managed to just survive? They have, but it's a 6v4.
This is deja vu. This is the exact type of round that came down to a 1v1. I got LG. You got 4 bodies alive. You got 2 players, each pushed out pipes.
And bear in mind, last time it was 100 Thieves. Wrapping back, they forced a 5v2 on their own side. This time, it's the opposite. It looks like it's going to be a 5-man hit from LG's side. They recognize and they have to back away. Big opening for Formal.
He didn't see the guy with the grapple coming over top, though, so 2 players fall. It all comes down to 2 final players. John inside the hill gets challenged by the lobby. 100 Thieves storm back on through. And well, Ben, they didn't even need the score streaks.
They didn't. God! One time I'm going to bring it up, Chance. I'm sorry. I feel like I threw you under the bus a little.
Been waiting weeks for that intel.
We haven't casted 100 Thieves in a long time.
It really has been, yeah.
It's not at all the last event, and you had it in your pocket. It was your pocket little bit of information. There's a glance at our Scuff Gaming play of the game. Comes right at the very end. It was 100 Thieves really taking control. They gave themselves a life advantage, but credit to Luminosity here, because it didn't look good. It looked like this was the end. It was over here, and they somehow actually survived. A very good push.
And we saw something the exact same round in the first round, where it was LG. In the nick of time, they have to go for the 5-man flood, and their trades both times were absolutely on point. But I think essentially the biggest key for this round is Formal when he wins the first gunfight. Once 100 Thieves starts to go on the flank, Priesta grapples over top of him. He doesn't get that information, and then whoever's with him, I think it was Slack, he just falls and it ends up losing 1v1 because, yeah, shot in the side, just never saw the player coming, and this is exactly when it happens. The player gets over top a little bit too quick, and yeah, Brack just had no idea what was coming.
And to be fair, that's not even really Formal's fault for missing the information, because by the time he peeks, the grapple's already through. So he has absolutely no idea. He's basically playing off sound. He's like, well, where did he grapple to? By the time that information is given, Flag's dead.
Yeah, and Brack, maybe the positioning a little bit aggressive, but 1, you're trying to catch players off guard. 2, you don't want to get shot from mid, so maybe the positioning not great, but the grapple play was on point, and plus it was a 6v4 anyway, so you had at least 1 extra man to help you.
Now here's the problem, though, for LG. You're 2-1 down, and you're heading to Arsenal Hardpoint, a map where 100 Thieves have just thrived. They really have.
I mean, it's not just that. How many series have we seen 100 Thieves where, yes, sometimes it gets close, where they're just the team that clutches up in the end. Like, you get maybe 1 opportunity to take this team down, and I think we just saw it. Like, they won the round 11. They made the 3-round comeback. They did 1 hard part out of the way.
Yep.
But as soon as you make that 1 mistake and you don't win that game 5, or not game 5, sorry, round 5.
With that said, though, from LG's standpoint here, I mean, game 1 scoreline is flattering, that's for sure, because it wasn't that close at all. Impressed?
We'll see on the next Hardpoint, right? Obviously, in the S&D, you can do it, but it's Pro League S&D, which for 100 Thieves, definitely not the same strats they're going to be coming in with. Maybe they get the playing spots, you know, in the right spot sort of thing. So I don't read a hefty amount into this series yet for LG, but I'm cool with what I've seen so far. But obviously, we want to see a lot more in this Hardpoint.
Their control retakes have been pretty good when their backs have been against the wall.
Right, they've had great moments. You have a nice little 1v1. You have nice strats coming out of the Search and Destroy. You have clutches in there. You don't get down on yourself when you're down 3 rounds. So they seem to have, you don't want to say vibes too often, but a little bit more composure.
That's for sure.
Than they've shown in the past.
Game 4, the Hardpoint Arsenal underway. Kick things off on board with Octane. Failed to get streaks, really let you down. Last map, can he try it this time? Well, there's a double kill off the rip, but he will fall. Enable now in the zone. Or in the Hardpoint, I should say. It's contested, and a good initial start there for LG. They'll start getting the time.
And yeah, well, Sky's over top. little bit of help, but able to win the first one. And maybe just on the back of his mind, thinking about some score streaks as well, 360 off. So still a little ways away, but potentially. And frankly, this setup for Luminosity is just perfect. 100 Thieves, they're just stuck.
It is indeed. And maybe Skies is getting closer towards those streaks. We'll send it now over to an After Gaming Listening with LG.
One shot window, one shot window.
65.
He's hitting gun, he's hitting gun.
Come on, be gone.
Yo, if I get hill pop, I get streaks. No, vent.
Oh, he's gonna be able.
One shot. No, they're on me.
Elbow Sam dead.
Hold
on,
He's on my pillar. He's on my pillar. No, I died off streaks.
I'm trying to get your
Lobby,
kitchen.
kitchen,
Too far. I'm getting to on top of
Kitchen push again.
Whoever's elbow finesse.
I want you to
Every elbow. Yo, what's me going trophy? One piece going trophy.
Elbow.
Watch your elbow.
He did me on hill. I'm dead.
The back elbow.
Three elbow. One pop.
Yeah, elbow. Yeah, 2 jumped in. Play the back.
One
Come.
One's gonna be kitchen or some shit.
Back heady, press dead.
I'm going pipes with a nice here.
Yeah, go Matt.
Elbow. Another one in the back heady. Nice, close right on the barrel.
Go ahead.
Nice, small trophy.
Nice, good up.
They can be in the back. One can be in the back.
Push up front.
We're
good.
I got your pitch.
Get some.
Come nice.
Yeah, I'm playing my trophy.
Shot left, John. Left.
You can get time whoever's behind us. I have trophy.
There's two here.
There's two. Take your time.
This guy's so close to the streaks, but didn't earn them. However, P2, a nice hold. It looks as though we're going to get broken early, but LG survive. And the score, 57-22. There's 10 seconds left of this time. It may go to 100 Thieves. Brack may want to go for a challenge. But on the other side of the map, you can already see 100 Thieves ready and waiting. And this is the fabled P3. We talk about it so often. And we may get to just see what makes them so good. You can see how aggressive 100 Thieves is here.
I mean, Slasher was here 20, 25 seconds in advance. Like, you talk about a quick rotation. They just knew exactly the setup they wanted to have. You got a player thinking about vents and Abel's there. He's going to fall. And, well, you got LG, a couple kills going their way. Still no clearance to the hill.
30 seconds gone. Still, LG yet to get points on the hill. They've contested now. However, 100 Thieves still with the back spawn. It's going to come down to Kenny now to just try and hold. There's no way he's able to do so. So LG break from the front. 20 seconds left, and 100 Thieves are going to give that time away. They're going to rotate over towards gun.
Yeah, but right now, all 4 players still in the hill. So they're just now starting this rotation. Maybe a little bit slow, but if you get the kills, it really doesn't make a difference. Now, I will say Octane has an opportunity to make a play because 100 Thieves, they got the pinch spawn coming in, and he's already able to find one player, and you see Formal has to get in elevators as quick as possible because they just got made mincemeat. We're not expecting 100 Thieves players to spawn in the back like that.
Good read from Formal, but doesn't win the fight. Now, again, 100 Thieves at the hill early. They're down 82-60. They're not a massive deficit. This may be where they turn things around a little bit. For LG, it's a little bit chaotic on the map for now. Spawning here, there, and everywhere. As they take their time and try and break through. Good opening. There's one. The second comes through, but Slasher desperately trying to hunt down I believe one of the LG players. I'm not sure who that was, but Skies was there to actually give us some support. And with 20 seconds, LG break.
Unable to find at least one kill. Does get cut down, but you see he's bought his teammates time to get to the hill first. Obviously, the back spawns should be going the way of LG, unless Slasher has anything to say about it. They got rid of the trophy, and the war machine is out. No flak on the first player, but is able to stay alive. But now Slack's actually just going to fall by Octane, and well, 100 Thieves, they want to hold it from the front.
Start to slowly chip away at the LG lead. Of course, LG need to win this to force a Game 5 search. Nice shots from Slasher. Didn't even heal and challenged. Wonderful shots. 270 away from streaks. We haven't seen them yet in this map. Is this now the turning point? Well, he's going to be 170 away and maybe just 70. 45 doesn't get them. Falls just shy, but his teammates are there to trade, and the hill time, good for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, that is such a calm play coming out of Slasher. That honestly feels like so much more like old school Call of Duty. He's not flying around with the stim shot, just making nice reads, knows when he needs to heal, when he doesn't. Just super calm gameplay. Of course, now you talk about Skies with the Tempest. He's able to, well, get one kill of his own, buy Brack the second one. And this is where Skies actually nearly earned streaks the first go around on the first hill. He's got the Tempest out, the hill pops, so he's pretty far away now. Maybe just a couple kills, maybe a chain. You never know.
A lot of time. Oh.
I have no idea.
What?
Now I know how he did that because I believe it, because I just saw the first one, but... And Skies bought himself another kill.
The trophy was enough to secure the kill onto Slasher. He was 50 points away on the first hill from Streaks. He's now 250. The challenge is going to come through, 125. Hardpoint contested, he wins another. There's the lightning. All he's going to get, though, he does fall. He's contest. Skies is 14-9. A great game so far from him.
They got Form on the flank. That's another kill feed. Going the way of LG just a little bit. You get these final 8 seconds. Nice to have. You have a very small lead. More importantly, you have a lightning to break into the next hill, which you have to imagine the play. Just call it in, kill a couple players, make sure you get elbow control. It actually spots the player jumping up from outer. And there it is. You get first 3 kills based off of just the lightning strike alone. No hunting for the spawns.
More importantly, look at what's happened to 100 Thieves spawns. This one on the other side of the map now. LG can really build themselves a big, big cushion on this hard point. 40 seconds still to go. And the kills could come through over towards the gun side. Very far push forward. Almost pulled out the War Machine to do just that, but the trophies are out. Slack thinking about maybe going off the map and making a play. Doesn't need to, just look up. There's one. Slack almost finds 2, but teammate there to trade. 25 seconds left. And honestly, if you're 100 Thieves at this point, you might just want to rotate.
This is the new men on the roster. Brack having a phenomenal game. Sky's obviously at least earning the streaks to help the break on a second. You're going to have a 70-point lead going into the next hill, and look what you got. The vision, the grab, the tac 5, and admittedly, 100 Thieves have a bit of utility of their own. And when I say a bit, I mean Octane with that Soul Tempest.
That's it.
And here's the vision. That's the play call. Break on this hill, blow up in the lead, and the game will be yours. But you have to break through.
Find the kills. And Abel's done well to stay alive. Slack tries to grapple towards him, and Abel says, thanks, free kill, appreciate it. As he tries to lock down the spawns, but he may have just slid a little too far. He was being collapsed on anyway, so it wouldn't have had too much of an impact. Slasher destroys the trophy first, throws out the nade. Doesn't connect with anything with the nade, but does find Brack. Bear in mind, Skies is now working towards some streaks. He falls. Slack flanks. He connects with the kill on the hill. Has Kenny one shot as well in lobby. This is a big, big amount of time for LG.
100 Thieves, though. Yeah, pop that tac 5 for an instant. Priestess says thank you very much. Now he's got a grab. So for LG, you invest the tac 5, you invest the vision pulse, and at least you get the break. But 100 Thieves still eventually ends up technically coming out on top of that hill. Octane's been hanging out here for quite some time, and now it's their turn with the specialist.
And it's Priestess' turn to get close to streaks. 250. The slam has to be in the back of his mind, but as he stands up, he drops. Now Slack, maybe thinking about a grab slam of his own. A problem is everyone falling around him. And Abel, 230 from streaks. He drops. At least they're not in a good enough position to invest the slam just yet. 2 players push. He finds one. Brack surely should fall. He does. 100 Thieves take control of the hill.
40-point lead now. 35 seconds left on it. 100 Thieves can be right back in this game, and that is a War Machine to try to make it happen. Slasher just commits. I mean, he was earning them like crazy in control. He's 28-16. You talk about the game Brack's having. The Maddox battle right now in full effect. Slacked. He tries. He certainly does.
Sure about that one. That's going to take half of the grab slam off. Will he earn it again? Well, we'll see. The saving grace after using it is you now have the rotation to new, and you have the lead. John earns himself a lightning as well. You know they're going to be coming from the front. He's going to call it in. 100 Thieves are in trouble.
Ben, you asked me how I felt about this LG roster. I wanted more from them in the hard point. They have given us exactly that and then some. Doing this on Arsenal. And at this point, honestly, they are making it look just a little bit easy. Skies with his second Tempest, only able to connect with one, but this has been a near perfect hold. John, honestly, he used his tac 5 like 2 hills ago. Already has another. He has been on a tear. Lightning strike, well, at least tags the players up. They got to flood through because LG, the game is in the bag. 250, 173 to force the game 5 outside of the first 6 minutes of the first hard point. This has been a neck-and-neck series.
100 Thieves was all smiles. Game 1, not the case after game 4. We're going the distance to game 5. Search and destroy. LG with a clinic of Arsenal Hardpoint. Very well played. And you mentioned it. The new men, Brack, Skies. What a performance from both of them. to force the Game 5 search and destroy. We've had a great series, and it feels fitting that it ends with that Game 5 search. The only question remains now, who's going to take it? We'll be right back after this. Wouldn't be a day at CWL with me and you casting unless we had a Game 5, and we get our wishes with, again, the best game of the day. 100 Thieves, LG, Chance. Curse of the commentator. Game number 1, 100 Thieves is fine. Streaks, left, right, and center. Oh, Game 3, Chance, talk to me about 100 Thieves and their streak usage. 0 in
I worked really hard for that too. Well, not really hard. I worked kind of hard.
You made this point. That could be the first time where they've gone kind of 2 respawns with 0 streaks.
I mean, again, the stats I pulled were from London and from like
in the data
Pro League before. So at Anaheim, it might have happened. Before that, it might have happened. But it is a rarity that in a series there are multiple respawn maps that 100 Thieves doesn't get score streaks on, and you can see their near effectiveness. Every single player on 100 Thieves, some of them multiple times, were within 200, 225 points off. And again, that could have been a difference maker of how many series that they had where it's just that one player. If you clutch up and earn those score streaks, that helps get you the map. Of course, the relationship also means you have to be doing well to get the score streaks, and 100 Thieves also nasty respawn. But LG took it to them. We've been talking about how good is this Luminosity team gonna be, and here we are.
Game 5.
In a Game 5.
I mean, it's what you want to see, right? When you talk about title contention, this is it. This is the team that's gone back-to-back. You forced a Game 5 search. If you beat them, great, right? That's what we're looking for. We're looking to be shown you can compete against the best team in the world. LG is showing us that. So you're an LG fan, You've definitely not had the greatest of years. You've had your ups, that's for sure, but you've also had your downs. Looks like maybe the last 2 events of the year could be pretty up there as an exciting one to watch as Brack gets a double 2v2.
2v2, and they have bomb in hand. He gets shot in the side, and, well, you know 100 Thieves sees him coming. Octane might linger around to see if LG wraps back. And I think LG is trying to bait the wrap. 100 Thieves, for the moment, has not taken the bait. Now Slasher spotting for information, but maybe just... 100 Thieves, they're making the hard read. I was thinking maybe Slasher goes over towards B. For the moment, they were expecting it, but LG, they could not have gotten that timing any better.
Free plant. Thieves will probably sigh when they realize that the bomb was planted today. Their timing off marginally, but off. That's all that matters. Time ticking for Slasher and Octane to go for the retake. Skies and Brack, 2 new men. For LG, up. Brack with 2 kills this round. Sky still looking for his first. I think he just spotted 1. Brack's hit the flank. Good timing. He shuts down Octane. Now it's a 1v2. It's all down to Slasher. Sky scrambles away, and with 15 seconds left, Slasher has no right to win this round.
He's certainly not going to. The duo of Skies and Brack right there, they could not have played that situation any better. You wait the perfect amount of time to wrap back in, get the bomb down. You leave Brack in connector. Skies is spotting information to watch the flank. Now for Skies, that means he needs the timing to go his way. As soon as he spots Slasher, you see what happened. Brack instantly just leaves. He goes, he starts his flank, but he takes his time with it. And then Skies crosses into connector. And I mean, or not even connector, sorry. He like goes back and plays his life over towards well or spots that information. And I mean just perfectly. They didn't take unnecessary gunfights. They didn't take any risks. It was just expertly played by the 2 young men in the league.
LG on the defensive side, John gets first blood. And he's managed to slow things down at least a little bit. However, it was Octane that found a pick this round as well. Sky's 1 shot. John now looking to be aggressive, and all the kills going for LG. Octane was able to find 1 before he fell, but LG now 2 runs up.
And, you know, Skies was able to pick up 2, but John was the playmaker that round. You get that opening first blood, top secret, then he wraps back to help his teammates out. He's able to find another kill shortly after, but John making plays. Skies is right there with him. 2 nice rounds in a row for LG.
Sitting pretty in the Game 5 search. What a confidence boost this would be.
Yeah, I already think it is. I think already they've made it this far. Like that's convincing in my mind that at the very least LG can do it. And keep in mind, even if LG wins this series, again, 100 Thieves, still top dog.
Yes.
Make no mistakes. No hyper hot takes.
LG's winning playoffs.
But for LG, this is a fantastic sign. This is exactly what the LG fans would want to see from the team. Outside of the slow start on the frequency Hardpoint.
Yeah, that wasn't good. But it doesn't matter, because we're in Game 5.
And this is another round where they got far bodies over towards A. They are just consistently outplaying 100 Thieves at the moment. Octane's the lone man on defense. John's the lone man watching the flank for him. And, well, he gets double challenged, maybe a little bit over-aggressive, and Octane was able to find a pick of his own.
Skies does shut him down, though, so now 4v3. There's 100 Thieves with a 1-man advantage. And well, the problem for LG is the bomb hasn't been planted just yet. It is down by the A site. Skies and his nades. What can he connect this time? Nothing. But Formal finds Kenny, 1 player outer. It's Enable that finds the pick. The push is going to come through. Trades galore. 2v1. Slasher and Priesta up against Slacked. 13 seconds. He's going to have to do this by the kills.
And he is so loud. Doesn't have dead silence, and the double challenge is there. Maybe a couple moments for LG to come up big, but it was John that was watching the flank. Well, he flew out to challenge Kenny, and Kenny had some help.
Stop the bleeding.
John's going to fall, and then Octane by himself over towards the site was able to kill the bomb planter off the rip. So 2 important plays on 2 different sides of the map made the entailing chaos much easier for 100 Thieves to deal with at the end.
100 Thieves get their first round. Still down 2-1. Tying things up here. They feel great in this round. We'll see. They're going to go on to the attack now. What do they have to show? Looks like Bomb is going to make its way over towards B. Slasher, the lone man, over towards A. It's at least a little bit of information. That's really about it. First blood for Kenny, though, and, well, Priest is right there behind his teammate. Octane finds Formal. 5v2.
Okay, think 100 Thieves might win this round. Skies over top. Yep, they're there. And, well, you do have a flank that's coming in. Skies is actually able to find one.
Hold on.
Snaps on the second to 2v5 for the Splash Brothers, Skies and Brack. They are going for it, Ben.
How we've got to this part of the round, I will never know. Now it just comes down to the mind games. Brack and Skies defensively in their 2v2. Played well now, though. Slasher will find the pick. Brack goes down. Skies wants to re-challenge, and what looked like it was going to be a very simple round turned into something a little closer than 100 Thieves would have liked, and it's still not technically over. Skies could do this. 30 seconds. It just comes down to how well has he read the situation. And Abel, don't get caught. 21 seconds. It's not planned in for office. And Abel has to check. He simply has to check. Skies reads it. 13 seconds. He's pushing. And Abel falls, but is there enough time? Surely not. Oh, he's missed it. He's missed it. 100 Thieves can breathe a big sigh of relief, because Skies and Brack played that 2v5 so darn well. The Skies even really should have won that round.
Okay. One, that's insane. Two, I think Enable didn't have dead silence. And I'm assuming Slasher did, because if you got that many players not running dead silence, that's a problem. And I think that's how Skies just heard them going top office, or he's a genius. And then I'm assuming he heard Enable coming down the hallway, so he hopped off him. Or he's a genius.
He's a genius.
Because, like, I'm saying, unless there had to have just not been dead silence. That's the only explanation. Or, like, Skies is hacking. Like, that was ridiculous.
Milliseconds away from winning that round and going up 3-1. Instead, we find ourselves at 2-2. It's now a 4v3, but you never feel like the round's over until finally it's over. 3 versus 1. It's Brack on his lonesome. 1v3, and he would need to try and plant LG on the attack. Octane, Kenny, and Enable up. Brack currently sitting at 6-2, looking to find any information out of fences. Being shot at now, so that's pretty good information.
Best information you could ask for. He's going for it, though. Not looking off the map. Wants to try to make a play. Fortunately, 100 Thieves, they are giving him nothing to work with. They spot him in connector. Double challenge comes in, and Abel just wins the one-on-one. Straight up, and it's only a 3-2 lead for 100 Thieves.
Boy, oh boy, they're working for every round.
Yes, they are. They are working very hard.
Good attempt from Brack, but he won't get it. And Abel finds 2. Assistance of Octane there. That's the best play. 100 Thieves back on the attack. I think we've seen them commit heavily to B off the rip. They've kind of teetered with it, but it's been more top hallway control. This time it looks as if it's going to be just the bomb carrier making his way to the actual site. Everyone else playing in the hallways. Priest is actually bottom middle. Potential to wrap, but Slasher finds first blood.
Good news for LG, though. Even though you get blooded, Skies and Brack are still alive. So apparently there's always going to be that potential. Slacked, of course, working on his first kill. Brack is right underneath the entire team. Slasher ready for it, though. Guns up. Formal does get a kill on the other side of the map, but 100 Thieves still have a 4v3. They are not going to get caught off bomb. Priesta barely able to get out with his life. They're not going for the plant just yet. They are going for the kills. And Formal is trying to stay alive as much as he can, but he had only 3 HP. He's going to fall. And now it's just Skies in a 1v4, and I imagine he might just want to hop off.
He's going for it.
Go for it. Yeah, just go for it. Try to clutch. Why not, I suppose? Because Enable is going to earn streaks.
He's out.
He should have jumped off the map sooner, because Enable's, what, 275 off now?
A little awkward. Don't worry about it. There it is. Skies concedes the round. 100 Thieves, 2-round cushion, and to your point now, Enable working on streaks.
And I don't necessarily want to use the word dominant, because there's been way too many scary moments for it to be, but outside of what, like the first 2 rounds, 100 Thieves has been pretty much dominating these rounds. I mean, it got dicey when they had a 5 versus 2, but that means they got the first 3 kills.
Yep.
That was the round they get where they're 4-1 up. I think Enable, what, 275 off streak, something in that capacity.
Yep.
So yeah, just keep that in the back of your mind. As LG leaning towards the A site where Octane has consistently been doing his job.
Sure has. Freestep not gonna find first blood this time. It's Formal that does. And now what does LG want to do? Stay at A, it seems. Bomb is going to be planted. Did Octane get the information? He did, but Skies picks him. Good angle from him, and Skies actually gets Slasher as well. 5v2. All right, Kenny. All right, Enable, it's your turn. Can you produce a miracle? Well, Kenny falls. Enable 1v5. The answer is no, but he is so close to streaks. He won't jump off the map here. Now it just comes down to, can you cherry pick a couple extra kills?
Well, they're going hunting, too. They are looking for him. Skies is tagging him up. They are swarming as much as possible, and there's nowhere for Enable to hide. He is running as fast as possible, but finally he gets cut down. So breathe a sigh of relief if you're on the LG side of things. You get the round win, you shut down the streaks, and here's a big reason why. Skies is able to pick up 2. First blood on Octane and Slasher. Easy kills for Skies to get.
Great shots. Great shots indeed from the young man. This game 5. Getting spicy. What's your ideal 1v1 for a round 11?
Oh, do you know how sometimes the first thing that pops up in your head is like the worst thing you could say?
Yeah. What do you think?
I'm trying to think. What's
Enable
a better option here? That was basically the first thing that popped in my head. But Enable's been playing well. So maybe not him. I don't know. Maybe a nice little Octane versus Skies, the dual ICR.
Wouldn't mind it. One planted though. Oh, Skies just picks Enable off. It's 10-3 by the way. He's looking for more. Hungry to find Octane. Octane sitting at 4 and 5 himself. LG with the 1-man advantage of Skies now. Tagging Octane up. He may over-challenge a little bit. Survives with just 10 health and a dream. But it's Priester and Connector with 1. Not going to find a second. It's Kenny that actually team kills. Nades are thrown out. Skies 1v3. 100 Thieves know exactly where he is, but he isn't going to go down without a fight. You just don't need to peek him. Play time.
Yeah, it's just simply no time. 10 seconds on the clock. He's going to back away because he's thinking about score streaks in the back of his mind. The first blood was nice. The team kill helped LG a little bit. And in spite of the first blood and a team kill, it didn't make a single bit of difference. 100 Thieves with the 4v5 hold.
Seems as if the game is just slipping away from LG.
Skies just needs some help, man.
Yeah, he does. Don't know really what else he needs to do. If there's ever any questions about this man's talent, he is showing you dominant performance in the game 5, but it's not over yet. 100 Thieves at map point and series point. One more round, all they need to close this out. It's not been flawless. It's definitely not been flawless.
By the way, exact same situation we had in the first Search and Destroy. This time, though, Skies the first man to fall, and that is the worst case scenario for LG, who need 3 rounds in a row. Kenny tagged up but alive. Octane back in his old faithful spot, and Brack just gets shot through the fence. Now a 3v5. Brack and Skies fall first. It's up to the original cast to make the play.
2 new guys can do nothing but watch. John finds 2. He's traded out. Formal shuts down 1. So it's a 1 versus 2. Slap makes it a 1v1. But
made it a 1v1, and Octane took him down in the end. 100 Thieves. They were down for a moment, but never out. Clutch up in the end. But I'll tell you, Ben,
good show.
It was a good show. It was a good show, an entertaining game 5. What more could you ask for?
I'm excited for LG's kind of next couple of weeks. Heading into playoffs, that is a great kind of base point for them to really identify what do we need to improve on, what do we need to target, what do we need to practice on. Because you don't have long before playoffs, and you don't have long until champs, that's for sure. But you just went up against back-to-back champions, best team in the game.
On like a
Game
week and a half
5.
of practice.
Exactly that, right? It's a very fresh squad. 100 Thieves, no team changes for them because why would you? Back-to-back champs. And for LG, a great showing. Obviously, Slack before the game said, we want to be that #1 team. We want to be champions again. I'm not going to call it yet, but I think it's likely that you at playoffs probably get a good showing out of them. Top 4, I think it's definitely possible.
I mean, if any team is going to make a run, it's going to be them. Or not any team make a run from the playoff bracket, but they're definitely one of the only 2 teams you expect to have a fighting chance.
For sure. Well, that's going to be everything from myself and Chance on the day. We'll send it out to Jess for the PlayStation Instant Reaction with Slasher.
Thanks, Ben. So before this match, you said we're always expecting a 3-0. So what are your feelings on this 3-2 instead?
Honestly, I felt like we lost. That was actually pathetic the way we just played that map, or the map for Arsenal. And the game 2, we kind of threw away too, but we're trying things in S&D, so I'm not too worried about it. But Arsenal, we didn't hold a good spawn once on the map. We literally just ran at the hill, ran around, and it was literally just a waste of time. We actually got worse playing that map.
What is there to be done to address that issue?
I mean, we're going to go back, and I'm going to watch and point out all the things I saw in the middle of the map right there. We're going to talk about it. And we're going to be playing a lot of Arsenal because people are going to be vetoing Hasi, so eventually we're going to get back on top of it, but just got to figure it out.
And during that final S&D, when it was just so close, did you know you always had it? What was the mood of the team like?
To be honest, the mood was kind of down because I was like talking about map 4 a lot and kind of angry at my teammates. But I mean, we weren't really too worried. We kind of had the game in the bag the whole time, but winning that series was not like our goal there. Our goal is to blow teams out. Like having close series with teams is not acceptable, especially a new team like that. So we need to get better.
All right, well, thank you so much. This has been your PlayStation Instant Reaction. Over to Katie at the desk.
Thank you, Jess, and some harsh words for his own team from Slasher, even though 100 Thieves did come out on top over LG. But I want to ask Nameless, we pointed out that they were playing LG on their best map. So would you agree with Slasher that that was a, quote, pathetic performance or no?
I wouldn't say it was a pathetic performance. I think he's just really hard on his teammates. I think that LG performed a really good roster. They're going to be a very good team going forward, and they have great ARs in their team as well. I think that Slasher's mad at his team because they got beat on Arsenal, but they haven't played Arsenal that much at all. Yeah. They've lost 2 in a row now, and they didn't really play it at the tournament because people vetoed it against them because they thought that that was 100 Thieves' best map. So I think he's just really mad that they're having close series, and the 2 big tournaments are coming up.
He's having a little bit of a deja vu moment from last season. So last season he was on the best team going into the 2 major tournaments, the 2 final tournaments, and his team, Rise, got second at the stage playoffs and then didn't even show up to champs. So he's remembering that moment and seeing this in his current team where we can't show cracks in our armor going forward. Since he knows, he's very self-aware, they're gonna have to play Arsenal a bunch because people aren't gonna play Hasi against them now. And they've lost it the last 2 times. They were 12-3 before, now they lost the last 2 Arsenals. That's not what you want out of your team. So you just remembering that past trauma.
But still did beat LG on their best maps. So to that note, Nameless, how far ahead of the rest of the pack would you put 100 Thieves?
I think they're still very, very much ahead, especially in like a tournament format in a bracket. I think that their map pool is just deeper than everybody. Like they know that if they fix their Arsenal where it used to be great, then they'll have the best map pool out of any team, like by a mile. So I think that they're still very far ahead. I don't think there's a team that can really go toe-to-toe with them and across the board in all their roles. So I think that they are definitely miles ahead of the competition right now.
You guys agree?
I don't think they're miles ahead.
I don't think it's as far as ahead as that makes it seem. I mean,
who's next up then?
I mean, I think that Splice and Optic are still right there, and then on the outside chance that if FaZe is able to do something, I think that they can catch up too. And LG's clearly not that far behind. It's just because I just don't think 100 Thieves S&D, even though they played it really well at Anaheim, is that strong. That second map, they won it against FaZe yesterday 6-5. They lost this one 6-5. It's super close in S&D every single time. So I don't think that they're leaps and bounds ahead.
I just think there's teams that maybe can upset them and beat them if they're not playing that well. But overall, in like a tournament format, I still think 100 Thieves is they're just so much better than every other team.
Yeah, well, one of those teams that we just mentioned that might be creeping up on 100 Thieves is Splice. And from that team, the Astro MVP candidate for the day in Hook, performing incredibly well, doing all the things that we absolutely know he can do. And so far, shining as the lone coming into Splice.
He just made UIU look like complete boss. Like they didn't even look like a pro team against him. Yeah. Like true story. And these guys are some pretty good Call of Duty players, and they just didn't look like it at all versus Hoop today. He went off in every single game mode.
I love
So
watching.
easy.
I love watching the SOG players who are able to just play Hacienda S&D and just push up the map, just get through those little cracks, and that's something that we see out of Kismet and Huke, especially on that Hacienda. He was able to hit that connector by himself, pick up 2 pieces, and just do things that you don't really expect a player to do by himself. I'm pretty sure on this map, he ends up picking up an insane 3-piece right here at the end, which is insane. He was one shot and able to pick up 2 beatdown kills.
That was weird.
The guy's just a glitch.
I don't know how he did that.
He's just a glitch.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
All right, let's look at our PlayStation damage dealt leaderboard. Steve 10th is still on top, and he is followed by Attached, though, and Weeman Slasher in 4th.
It's the temp leaderboard right here.
But three from Splice, yeah. Hoop down there as well, and Aqua.
Slasher in that number 4 spot, dude. He's been going off ever since we had the argument
He really has.
about who's the better Maniac or Slasher.
Jesus Christ.
Going in.
He's had like 1 bad map since then.
Yeah, he's been playing
A
so
bad
well.
search and destroy. That's it.
He's
He's
running
dominating.
frequency. Everything frequency, he's destroying on for some reason.
All right, let's look at our standings then. See, again, as things move through, who is going to be making it into the playoff bracket and who is going to be going into that play-in bracket for Miami, of course. A couple securing those, Splice being one of those, securing that playoff bracket. And I believe it was FaZe Clan as well, I think, today, too, or R2 for the day. But you can see it there. Our schedule for the last day of this week of Cross Division, starting with FaZe Clan and Units. 4 series to close the week out, and then just 1 more week of Cross Division before Miami. Now, this half of Cross Division, just said it, some teams are still looking for a win. E6 lost 3-0 to FaZe Clan, who secured their 2nd win of the week and qualified for Miami's playoff bracket. Evil Geniuses beat out Units in Map 5 to keep playoff hopes alive. And Splice also qualified for the playoff bracket by destroying UYU 3-0. 100T took down LG, but it had to get to Game 5 for them to do it. Now Thursday, we kick things off with FaZe Clan versus Units.